Hi everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel, and in today's story time I'm going to be talking to you guys about bulimia. So my name is Lynn and I am your queen of how to. Let's see if you can relate to this. In the 1990s we didn't have like social media like we have now. Like, I'm 45 now. At the time when I was in my late 20s, early 30s, it used to be things like Hello Magazine, Grazia, Now. We would have like magazines sitting on the counters for clients to order their food, and whilst they're waiting for the food they can have a flick through and read. So that's why we had to buy magazines to leave aside for that purpose. And I remembered, like, you know, as a young girl in my 20s, late 20s, around about 27, 28, maybe even earlier, around about 26, 27, I can't remember exactly, but I was in my 20s. And I remembered picking up the magazines and just having a very quick flick, like a quick flick through kind of thing, and didn't really pay attention. But the more I would like flick through these magazines, the more obsessed I became. So I used to look at the models and I used to think, oh my God, she's so beautiful. Oh, I love her hair, I love her makeup, I love her eye color. I just loved everything about all the models that was in there. I loved their figure. And at the time, I didn't realize, but it had put a lot of pressure on me mentally to want to look the same. Now what I believe is work, you know, with social media, like, is everybody has access to it. Whereas in those days, if you had the money to go and buy a magazine, you'd have access to the magazine. It wasn't like, you know, like how instant like Instagram is and Facebook and YouTube and everything it is now. You know, now is so much more exposure than it used to be. But at that point in my life, in the 90s, magazines was the thing. And looking at the magazine, I didn't realize at the time, in my 20s, that a lot of it was like photoshopped and airbrushed and all that sort of stuff. And that models would be, would have had surgery to make themselves look that beautiful. I didn't know. I honestly thought it was like all natural. So I started to become more and more obsessed over the idea of wanting to look as perfect as the models. So I put a lot of pressure on myself to want to look that way and to be slim. And the more pressure that I put on myself to be slim, the more I turned to eating as a form of comfort. I remembered like looking at the models and seeing how perfect they look, like the boobs, the bum, the hair, the makeup, the nails, and all of this. And then I would feel so insecure about myself of not looking to be as good and as great as them. So if you guys can relate to what I'm saying, then you too is one foot through the door to either developing an eating disorder or forming some form of insecurity, anxiety as such. So be very, very aware. Now, I want to make clear to you guys that is watching my video right now that Instagram models and the models that you see online have all had some form of cosmetic surgery. They've been misled with the idea that people come looking that perfect naturally. Please understand that beauty is not in just how you look, and that you must understand that beauty is within. You can look perfect on the outside, but if your morals and your values and who you are as a person isn't great, then it doesn't matter how beautiful you are looking on the outside. It really doesn't matter. You are still a very ugly person. So beauty is your views, your opinions, your outlook, your morals, how you respect others, how you treat others, how you respect yourself, how you treat yourself. These are all quality that makes how beautiful a person is. I want to also stress that bulimia doesn't just run in women, it runs in men too. If for the young boys that's growing up and they're seeing on Instagram these guys that are heavily on steroids with muscles bulking out of their body and chests and pecs and whatnot, biceps, triceps. Believe me, these athletes or these bodybuilders are on one form or another some kind of steroids. If they're not on steroids, they're on some form of growth, enhancement, muscle building kind of stuff. Please do not believe what you see online, because it is not 100% organic. So for the guys and the girls that's watching my video right now, please understand that all this watching other people online could very easily lead you down the path of having an eating disorder. If it's not anorexia, it'll be bulimia. So be very aware. Be very aware. If you are stopping yourself from eating, or if you're making yourself sick after you've eaten, then there is an issue there, and you need to seek some form of help. Because I know when I started to put a lot of pressure on myself, watching all these models on magazines and how beautiful and how perfect they look, in my head I thought it was all natural, but it's not. It is not. It is not. So please do not believe to think that it is. So for the guys and girls, please do not measure yourself up to these models. They do this for a living. That's what they do. They have to have all this body, enhancement kind of stuff to look that great, because it's their line of work. And even when they're looking that great, to airbrush and have to use filters to look that good when they upload their photos. So none of it is organic. So please don't be misled by thinking that it's organic, because you're only going to set yourself up for failure. So I'm going to end today's story time. I want to thank you all for watching. As always, it's love from Lynn, and I will see you guys in my next video. Until then, it's bye for now. Bye guys. Bye. Mwah.